Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Steve's Wrestling Ramble. We're going to start off with Sasha Banks' theme. Why not? She's the new Raw Women's Champion. Don't want to go too far into it and get a copyright strike. But anyways, welcome to the show. My co-hosts for this evening, Mark Ramble TV, and Michael of Raunchy Mikey. Michael is under the weather and will not be able to make it for this episode. Mark will be on it and make sure that Mike, when he is able, no rush, but able to send me his predictions for TLC. We can get that all squared away before the pay-per-view starts on Sunday. Obviously, be greatly appreciated. First, before I get into any other house cleaning, let's welcome the other member of the team, co-host Mark Ramble. How are you doing this evening?
What is going on, Steve?
What's going on? You feel? Or you sound enthusiastic? Are you all hyped?
Yes, I am. I'm actually trying to get this camera set up. I don't know what the hell is going on right now.
I don't know. You might be a little more hyped for TLC than most people. Or is that hype for something else?
I'm just hyped, period.
That's good. Stay hyped. That's all that matters.
Hype, bro.
A hype bro. An honorary hype bro. Also, I wanted to give a shout out and a quick promo plug for Lazy Booking Podcast I did earlier today on my NFL show, Lazy Booking Podcast. You can check them now on YouTube. They're actually going live right now as I speak. My mouth words are coming out of their mouth on their channel. They're doing a live episode, their first live episode on their channel for their podcast. Here they're new to YouTube. And like I said, I explained that in my rhetoric earlier today in my NFL podcast, talking about everything. About them as well. You can find them on iTunes, find them on Google Play. Again, that's Lazy Booking Podcast, spelled out as it sounds. And like I said, right now they're live. They probably will be going live. They usually go live an hour before us. And next week or one of the weeks in the future, I will be myself. And the person that I've been in contact with has also said that maybe others from my team over here, which include Mark and Michael, are more than welcome to be part of that, because also we're planning for WrestleMania. If I'm able to go to have a mega episode together, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, Lazy Booking Podcast, working together as one at WrestleMania. So doing it live. So definitely want to give them a shout out. Follow them on Twitter at Lazy Booking PC and on their Facebook fan page, Lazy Booking Podcast. Simple as that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm having another outlet, having another fan base there, or having another podcast part of other podcasts that I work with and hope to work with in the future. But anyways, moving on with this week in WWE. Let's start off with Monday Night Raw. Mark, what are your thoughts on Raw and everything, or what do you want to discuss here tonight dealing with Monday Night Raw?
Well, Raw was very, I guess you could say it was a typical Raw. It was nothing big that went on. It was nothing like, oh my gosh, like, oh my God, it really just happened. It was just Raw, It was something, just you see every Monday. Well, I'm not gonna say it's terrible, because it wasn't terrible. It was just probably just something to keep the pace moving, something to keep the flow going. I feel like nothing really you can build up on. You had your matches, you had your segments. The thing I want to talk about is SmackDown, considering the fact that TLC is on the way. I got a lot of predictions, like, on Jay's his show. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about with that. But Raw was okay. SmackDown definitely took the win on this one when it came to this week. And I want to talk about 205 Live.
Okay.
But yeah, Raw, it was cool. It was okay.
Yeah, Raw was okay. I only had a little issue with Sasha Banks winning the Women's Championship because of the continuation of Hot Potato. And I know I talked about this last week with you and Michael about how I didn't want that to happen, how I wanted Charlotte to actually successfully defend the title and go into WrestleMania or however they wanted to book it moving forward, and then just go it that way and not having it back and forth, and having only Sasha Banks winning the Women's Championship on Raw. Now, the reason why I like SmackDown Live's women's roster over Raw's women's roster, or Women's Division and women's rosters, because on SmackDown Live they at least have a secondary feud. Whether you're indifferent or whatever about it, I think most of us can agree that with that being said and that being part of SmackDown Live, them having a second feud of meaning at least something. And if it meant more, and if it actually had more online or maybe number one contendership, I mean, heck, it's a no DQ match in itself, but above that, having it for the number one contendership, I think more people would be inclined to agree with my viewpoint here. But just in general, the fact that they have that on Raw, they have most of their other roster just sitting there twiddling their thumbs in the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
And they have some good women on that side, too. I know we were waiting for Emelina, the emergence of her and her return and everything. And SmackDown Live, like I said, Naomi and others, they're doing nothing. But at least on the SmackDown Live side, they're doing something, and that's better than nothing, in my opinion. And in my eyes, that's why, to me, I think SmackDown Live, in that regard, in that division, is better over Raw's. I mean, Nia Jax wasn't even on the past week, so but you gotta show you care more. Show that have other feuds, have other storylines, having other things going on in the women's division. I mean, yes, as awesome as Charlotte and Sasha have been, and hitting out of the park with their matches, and this feud going on forever and all this other stuff, you still have other women in that division, let alone in that division on Raw. So I think it behooves WWE, it behooves Raw writers and everything to have that, to try to have more feuds like SmackDown Live is, and even SmackDown Live, maybe not just having the secondary feud, but having it mean more than what it seems like right now, which is still pretty good. I mean, Carmella and Nikki Bella working pretty well together there. So, what are your thoughts on that between the Raw and SmackDown Live women's division?
Well, obviously, I feel like Raw has the talent to, compete with SmackDown, considering the fact that, you have 3/4 of the horsewomen from NXT being on Raw, then you have the lone survivor, Becky Lynch over in SmackDown. Raw, surprisingly, is struggling because they're using two people to take that whole Divas roster, women's roster to the next level, where you have Nia Jax, you have Bayley, you even have Dana Brooke if you want to use her. You have, I don't know. You have Bayley. You have Alicia Fox, but she's a little irrelevant. But you have all these people, yet you're using just two women, and the main storyline, and it's only for the women's championship belt. Where in SmackDown you have Nikki Bella, Carmella. They're not even trying to fight for a number one contenders match. They just genuinely do not like each other, which adds more fuel to the fire. It adds more, interest to the women's roster in SmackDown. Well, honestly, the women's SmackDown roster should be trying to compete with Raw, but instead it's now the opposite, because the SmackDown roster, they're adding more variety to the roster, to the brand, and to the division. Where, like I said, Raw is just the same two people for the past 3 months. So there's a huge difference. And quite frankly, I think the SmackDown women's roster is doing better, quite frankly. I feel like they're definitely in control. If anything, Raw should be looking at SmackDown and seeing what they're doing, because Raw needs it big time. So, I mean, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I agree. I just, as great as Sasha Banks and Charlotte are being the best, not just in the women's division for Raw, but women's division overall, maybe even as we were talking about on Jay's show, I think it was Tuesday or something, sometime this week. I was saying about Charlotte, not only deserving to be women's superstar of the year, maybe even superstar of the year, getting in that kind of ground as well, because she's been finding her niche as a uber heel and everything. So I commend her and commend them both for how they're doing and how they're doing the feud. But it's just like I said, we have to have other feuds, have to care, show more, at least to me personally. To others, maybe not. But as much as you can showcase the franchise, so to speak, of your women's division that are Raw, it also has to be others, because at some point that will get old, and that's why. And you also have to break it apart too. This feud should end at Roadblock into the line, as the pay-per-view is dubbed into the line. And finish that feud and go on to whether it's going to be Charlotte getting the title back or Sasha finally retaining the title at a pay-per-view. However, you move on to Bailey, and maybe if that's what the rumor is for heading to WrestleMania. Now, just want to ask you here is a hot spot question, as Stephen A. likes to do on Talking WWJ sometimes. Who would you rather see, just in your humble opinion, who would you rather see Bailey up against as the number one contender in your eyes, Sasha Banks or Charlotte?
I have to go with Charlotte. Charlotte, she just seems like she first of all, don't get me wrong with Charlotte. Charlotte could definitely perform in the ring. I mean, she gets it. It's easily that she could perform in the ring. She's good outside of the ring. Mic skills are good. Still needs improvement. Bailey against Charlotte will be a better match than Bailey against Sasha because you've already seen Bailey against Sasha in NXT twice, and it was excellent. Now you have Bailey versus Charlotte. It's like, okay, I haven't seen this in a long time. I want to know how they're going to do it on there in the big stage. They're in the main roster now. Let's see what they could do. And then you may want to bring Sasha into the WrestleMania picture. I could see Charlotte being a better fit for Bailey because I feel like they have a better chance of really getting over with the crowd because you already saw Sasha and Bailey before. Bailey and Charlotte. So I'm going with Charlotte on this one. And Charlotte, I think, would be better fit for Bailey.
Yeah, I agree. I think not only is she a better fit, I think he also in writing and booking it and that kind of thing, thinking logically, or at least for me personally, thinking in that way of booking, how would you do that? I think it would be better with having Charlotte as your champion and Bailey chasing as the challenger heading into WrestleMania. Just because of, like I said, Charlotte's been doing so dang well here in 2016, almost a year of Charlotte Flair in the women's division, winning the title at WrestleMania. The title not even a year old, technically for the women's championship. Now specifically the Raw Women's Championship, but the women's championship where she won that title, technically retained, while retaining the Divas title, turning into the women's title, but winning it then. And having it now, and how, like I said, finding her niche and doing so well as a heel, and even the little things and how she talks when she's doing her promos, I enjoy and I see, because I'm that type of person, Mark, that I look at the little things, just like I do when I watch Scream Queens and Scream. When I'm trying to be a detective sleuth there, finding out clues, pieces to the puzzle. Well, here for Charlotte Flair and here watching her and how she's been developing, seeing the little things like that and other things as well. Beyond that, made me believe that she should be a strong candidate and choice, and hopefully she's on the ballot, quote unquote, for Superstar of the Year, not just Women's Superstar of the Year for sure. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that she's done well enough to make it on a quote unquote ballot to be on that list of Superstar of the Year?
Definitely. I mean, first of all, how old is she? Like the two-time champion, women's champion?
Three.
Okay. And it hasn't even been a whole year since that new belt was made. She is the 3-time women's champion and the Divas champion. I mean, all within what, a year and a half, 2 years. I mean, that's pretty damn good, considering the fact that they were going through this whole shift in the women's wrestling. To do what she does and perform the way she does, I definitely for sure say she's a candidate without a doubt. People may not like her, but you gotta respect her. It's like John Cena. Some people may not like him, but you gotta respect him at the same time.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you do have the Cena haters, but then again, that's people trying to get themselves over. Fan bases that they do try, just like the fan bases that still do the CM Punk chants at shows and pay-per-views, just to get themselves over, which, I mean, I can't hate it, but it can also annoy me. So, yeah, two sides of that coin as well. But I guess then focusing on SmackDown Live, since we are heading into TLC, the pay-per-view, what are your thoughts? I went down on SmackDown Live, and what is your excitement now heading into TLC this Sunday?
Oh, my excitement is the James Ellsworth guy. I love that guy, James Ellsworth. But anyway, it's the Ambrose versus AJ Styles match. I'm interested in that a lot. The reason I see James Ellsworth is because, like I said, earlier, I think James Ellsworth has to. I think he's gonna play a role in the match. Somehow. Maybe he's gonna come from the crowd. Maybe his music's gonna play. He's gonna take the little brace off, just kick the shit out of AJ. I mean, he's going to do something to interfere in that match. I have a feeling something's going to happen. It's going to be an interesting pay-per-view. It's going to be something that's not going to necessarily play that big of a role into the brand of SmackDown. I think the whole point of this pay-per-view is to get the crowd over a little bit more. But I'm interested. I'm curious to see how they're gonna do it. I want to know how they're gonna do it, and I can't wait, honestly.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. And SmackDown Live, the show itself, I think did better than Raw. Kind of should have, anyways, because it's a go-home show to a pay-per-view. And having Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton actually become the number one contenders and having a taking title match at TLC was exciting enough, interesting enough for me, more on Randy Orton's side than Bray Wyatt's side, as I state my opinions. In fact, thoughts on Bray Wyatt. his stick has gotten old to me, and I'm not saying he's not ever deserving of a title, but just not right now. And I think they'll continue when we get to TLC because I don't see them winning the tag team titles. I mean, you throw a tag team together, you put Randy Orton and Bray together, but not seeing it more of a tag team, just seeing it more of a family dynamic as the Wyatt family are. So to me, my brain's not really registering it as a tag team, registering more just as the family dynamic and the storyline around that, which now with Luke Harper being a little bit jealous, I wonder if that'll play in at TLC and other things as well there. So that makes it very interesting to see how it moves forward. That's why when I was talking about with Sheamus and Cesaro and that tag team just thrown together, I see them differently as a stronger and better tag team than Wyatt and Orton, is because at least for them in my brain and my thoughts, is that for them I actually see them as a tag team and actually legitimate. Where Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, as good as they are, I guess, individually, putting them together, I see it more as a Wyatt family storyline than I am seeing them a tag team storyline, a tag team situation. Then on the other end, they're on Raw. So, yes, they're both two tag teams thrown together. They both have been working really well, and they both have, I would say, a majority of the WWE Universe enjoying them and liking them, and maybe more so on Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton's side, most of the WWE Universe wanting them to win that brand's tag team championship. But over there on Raw with Cesaro and Sheamus, for me, I'm on the minority side, wanting them to win the tag team titles on Raw. So either way, it's very interesting, and I'm very happy for Randy. To give you something when he came back, I'm wondering if he was just going to be like a Chris Jericho, putting over the young talent, doing single stuff, not even something to this nth degree that they have had him in now with the Wyatt family. So good for him, kudos and stuff like that. But as we head into TLC and what transpired on Tuesday SmackDown Live, very interesting in that way. Also, we started off the show with Alexa Bliss and the WWE SmackDown Live Women's Champion Becky Lynch contract signing and promo there segment, ending up with Alexa Bliss putting Becky Lynch through a table. Now it's the tables match and stuff like that. So overall, just with that and other things going on SmackDown Live, Mark, any other thoughts of the randomness that I did just bring up having to do with the show and the episode?
Well, the whole Becky Lynch Alexa Bliss thing. Now that it's a tables match, I'm very interested to see how things are going to do, because Alexa Bliss is so little. I just thought about this. I mean, anybody could put her through a table. That's one negative that Alexa Bliss has to deal with. And then the fact that, you have to go against Becky Lynch, who, an incredible athlete. I'm curious to see, because I don't remember, if I recall, I don't recall watching a lot of women's tables matches. But, this one coming up, it should be a little interesting. I wonder how they're going to perform. Is it going to be, table inside the ring, somebody just falls into the match, or they're going to have like a finisher on the outside, maybe on a table to end the match? I don't know how they're going to do things. That's why I'm so curious to see how this match is going to play out. That's one thing I'm also interested in watching too, is the women's title match.
Mm-hmm. Palmer J. Simmons, I see you are sneaking in here in the episode. I know you all have a
Hello?
short. I see you only have a short time to be on, so whatever you want to bring up or whatever you want to talk about, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, I only got like 5 minutes to be on here, so
Right.
I have to do this quick. But anyway, I heard WWE. Okay, here. Ring of Honor stars contracts are expiring on I think Triple H want to get like I believe 15 Ring of Honor stars.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about that in one of the groups I'm in on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. What your thoughts about that?
Mark?
Oh well, it's okay. What I honestly want Triple H to do is try to get the whole, the rest of the members of the Bullet Club. I prefer them over Ring of Honor. Don't get me wrong, there are some good Ring of Honor wrestlers. You got, Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens, whatever you want to call him. You have Daniel Bryan. You have a whole bunch of people coming from Ring of Honor. But honestly, I would rather see the Bullet Club come in, because you already have AJ Styles, you have Doc Gallows, you have Luke Anderson. Carl Anderson. Sorry, Carl Anderson. Why not get the rest of the group and bring them with them and just let them just create hell over in WWE? I prefer them over Ring of Honor. But if Triple H wants to do what you said he was doing, then he could do it because he also has NXT. And look at that.
I'm sorry, but they could be the next NWO at WWE.
You talking about Bullet Club?
Yes.
Yeah, Bullet Club. I mean, if you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, I mean, geez, they could take over WWE. They're just too damn sweet. But they could. I prefer getting the group of the Bullet Club. They need the Young Bucks. They need all of WWE. Let them take over.
Yeah, my thoughts are you might as well get as many superstars and plug them out from other companies as you can. So I don't mind Triple H doing that. We're just wondering, seeing how many he'll actually be able to get. It's the Young Bucks. I know I also heard reportedly that ROH is offering Young Bucks a new multi-year contract to stay there. So will they stay there or not? I know the Young Bucks in the past have been talking about how they don't want to go to WWE ever. So we'll see if money makes them talk and walk over there to WWE. We'll see. But
unfortunately.
Right. Exactly. So they can say all they want. When push comes to shove, you never know what's going to happen. So, but no, it'd be kind of cool to have them. It would be awesome, obviously, to have the Young Bucks there in WWE Triple H, and getting them and other superstars from ROH, because there are other good ones that are there currently. That they could get. So my thoughts on it is, hey, why not? Always looking for new talents, whether it's ROH, the Indies, or wherever Triple H looks, and other talent directors or whatever from WWE look to scour the country, nation, whatever, wide to find the next WWE superstar. More the merrier for me. Building up the talents, building them up in NXT, and then at some point main roster and going from there and see if they actually have careers. So I know it's all but positive for me. I'm thinking on that because I wouldn't mind having Young Bucks and other talent from ROH coming to WWE for sure.
Oh, and also I heard that WWE Network wanted to buy ZZW library and put it on the WWE Network. Like ZZW, like WWE have no clue about ZZW. It's really like TV mature, like it's more graphic than ECW. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, again, just like the other news, if they want to get the library, I'm sure they know what it is. I'm sure they heard of it. I'm sure they understand. And if anything, if they have to in some matches or in some situations, they'll edit it or blur things out or whatever they have to do. Like, I understand what you're saying, but it's just one of those things. WWE wants to try to get it. They're going to try to get it, and they're going to get it. So, to me, again, more the merrier for the WWE Network. Plus, Plus, your audience on the WWE Network is more of Attitude Era. My age or older, that were ECW fans, part of the Attitude Era, maybe even some even older than I, from the territory days and everything. So targeting to us as the main audience for the network, just as much as it seems like to me the shows over on SmackDown Live, more so Raw, are targeted to the younger demographic of fan base than older. And it being the flip opposite for at the WWE Network, at least in my opinion. That hey, why not then have that library W on your WWE Network for audiences and people other than us that haven't seen that at all. And yeah, it might be a good positive negative. As a positive, cool, we get to see something like that, but you can see it in the network and safely there. But then also a negative in the way that then you might get droves of fans, whether on Twitter or otherwise, wanting that stuff in WWE now when they dang well know that is not going to be the case. So there's that side of it too. But again, just like before, and the other news that you brought up there, Palmer, which is great stuff. But for me, my opinion is more the merrier, awesome. And for someone like me, like I said, is the target audience, in my opinion, for the WWE Network. Then why the heck not bring it to the network? Mark?
Well, this is the thing. Let's just be real. WWE or WWF or whatever you want to call it was better when it had competition. Now it kind of seems like they're just taking everything.
Same.
Like, from New Japan, from Ring of Honor, from CCW, like you were saying, Palmer. And eventually, they're not going to have anything to get better off of. And then the product could possibly become dry and become stale and boring again.
Oh,
so,
Mark, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's another thing. Like, I want WWE to have competition. Like,
exactly.
It was TNA at first, but they choke. So, like.
Well, but then again, when were they ever truly competition? At least not to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I want to know, like, which promotion is next to be like the next WCW, like the next 10 years. Like, is it gonna be surprisingly ZZW, or it could be New Japan? Don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna think that the closest thing the competition that WWE could possibly get as of right now will honestly have to be New Japan. I mean, even though it's all the way across the globe, you could still watch it. You gotta stay up hella late for it, but you could still watch it, and you could see a difference in New Japan and WWE. New Japan's a little bit more raw. Hey, no pun intended. It's rare. It's some of the things they do are not usual, and that's what I'm saying. WWE needs competition, in my opinion, because the product is going to get stale after a period of time, and they're going to be on panic mode like they were a couple months ago, and it's not going to look pretty because a lot of people are going to stop leaving, and then that's when they're going to do a desperate move and bring somebody back. That's why I prefer competition. Like, don't take everything and then regret it later. Leave some things out. I would honestly not take the CCW stuff because, first of all, other than Dean Ambrose, who the hell came from CCW to WWE?
Kevin Owens.
Oh, he was in CCW?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. I did not know that. Okay, Palmer.
I believe Daniel Bryan was in it for like a month.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and James Ellsworth. My boy was a ZZW.
James Ellsworth. See, Steve, everybody likes James.
I guess so.
I got the T-shirt. Yeah.
Ellsworth. Ellsworth. That guy is not worth my time.
Yeah, I think WWE shouldn't take CZW interviews, recordings, pay-per-views, or whatever you want to call it. It's not worth it, in my opinion. You need competition.
Yep. All right, so are we all done talking Raw, SmackDown, and otherwise? Is there anything else you want to bring up, Palmer? I know, like you said, you can only be here for a hot minute, for 5 minutes. Anything else you want to bring up before you have to leave for the evening?
Yes, one more question before
Okay.
I go. I heard. I don't want to spoil nothing for nobody, but I hate spoilers.
Hold up. Don't spoil nothing. What is it? What is the topic?
What's the topic?
The New Day losing the championship next week.
Oh,
That's what I heard.
Oh, snap.
to who?
I think the club.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
The club or Sheamus or Cesaro. I forgot who they said, but like I heard that they won't beat the record and like they might split up. That's what I hear.
Well,
That certainly would be interesting, but I don't know. It just seems like to me that WWE is wanting them to break this record in demolition just because of hard feelings and whatever the past. And I think also building it up to Roadblock end of the line, or I forget the tagline, whatever. For Roadblock, for them to be facing the different tag teams of the division, right? So they face Sheamus, Cesaro, then they face the club, and then I think even before they face another tag team. So I think they're going through the division. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but it just seems like they're not going back to another tag team until we get to the line of tag teams, until we get to Roadblock, and whether they have a multi-tag team match or whatever when I want tag team with somebody. I think for me, New Day breaks the record, and then the New Day drops its end zone Cass. That's what I see happening. That's why I see being the next tag team champions. But if it happens next week, it happens next week. I'd be surprised if it actually does happen. But hey, you never know. WWE, they try to do swerves. I mean, Sasha Banks wins the Raw Women's Championship 3 times on a Raw, so why not for the tag team titles?
Yeah, that's true. Well, the thing is, I could see them, like I said, winning breaking the record, losing to the club, and then the club goes against Enzo and Cass, possibly. I could see that because there's so many damn tag teams. You just got people out of nowhere just aligning with each other. Like, where in the hell would you see Cesaro and Sheamus come together and become a tag team? I mean, that's just random in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see Big Cass and Enzo getting it, or Big Cass getting a push. Enzo's just like the manager or something. But I don't know. It's interesting. I can see them. I know they're gonna lose, and I know they're eventually gonna split, which is probably the worst part when you think about it.
I hate spoilers.
Yeah, no, because this is the thing. It all depends on where you got it from.
Yeah, true.
I got it from Wrestling Hub on their YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Well, that's pretty interesting. I mean, just as much as interesting, you get your news from Sean's View Entertainment. So, well, then again, there you also have Sean's View. You have How Good Mike Works, sometimes it's news. You have What Culture Wrestling and their stuff and whatever. But yeah, it all depends, like Mark was saying, where you get your news, where you get your spoilers, because sometimes it's just dirt sheet BS, and sometimes it's legitimate and it might actually happen. And even if rumors or stories that we find, whether it's whatever Palmer finds or Mark or me, whether it actually had announced the truth, WWE can get a sniff of it getting traction on the internet and just change it on the fly. And if maybe this was supposed to happen, but now WWE changes things up, shakes it up a bit, and doesn't happen at all. So, and then it makes the person, whatever. So WWE can get jollies off of that. But, either way, we'll see what happens next week. I still, like I said, have a feeling they are going to break the record. And if they don't break the record, they're going to be dropping the tag team titles that Raw before the record breaker or whatever, before the pay-per-view, maybe even the go-home show. Being that the time of them dropping the title and then having the rematch already 6 days later at the pay-per-view and stuff like that, and then go from there. Because if you want to fast track things, and if you want to already get past a New Day feud, you just kind of do something like that, because then you have maybe you have the New Day split and turn each other at the pay-per-view roadblock when they're trying to get back to taking titles, because one of them, Hart's not in it, or however they book it, and then they just go their separate ways. Then the new tag team champions, whoever it is, that one on that go home show, then can start off a new feud, the Raw after roadblock, heading into the road to the Royal Rumble. And it's a nice long road, because the Royal Rumble isn't until near the end of January, just as most pay-per-views usually are, when their single pay-per-view is shared by SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw. Because how crazy it is that tonight we're doing our predictions for WWE TLC for SmackDown Live, and just last week we were doing a review for Survivor Series. So it shows the interesting hustle and bustle there for World Wrestling Entertainment, for sure. But I'm certainly looking forward to TLC. Thank you, Palmer, for stopping by. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're unable to be here for the whole episode, but great that you stopped by, bring up some great questions and comments. We really appreciate it. And maybe we might have some episodes on Fridays where you'll be able to hear for the entirety.
I'd definitely be on the ones on Fridays.
I'll let you know for sure. Don't worry,
All
I got you. I'll let you know.
All right. See y'all later.
All right, peace. See that, Mark? I'm trying to act cool now. So, anyways, I learned the word lit from you and whatever. And it's like, geez, whatever. Actually, maybe as I'm trying to do it, I'm acting more of a jabroni than actually being cool. But let's head into TLC predictions, Mr. Ravens fan. You guys have a big matchup coming up this Sunday, by the way. But, that team right here. Anyways, to WWE TLC 2016 edition, let's go through our predictions. Doing it a second time here today. Obviously, we were on Talking WWJ, but you can check that out on YouTube, Talking WWJ. Again, also check out Lazy Booking Podcast. They are still live as I'm looking here on YouTube. They're still live with their episode. Their first live episode, their TLC preview show. Obviously, I can't hear what they're saying because they're on mute and I have my own show going on, but check them out. Sub to their channel. After you sub here first, of course, priorities. And then check them out, because they're a great bunch of individuals there on that team. And like I was telling Mark and my audience here a little earlier, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, Lazy Booking Podcast, hoping to work together here in the recent future, because I might actually be a guest on their show next week for the first hour of their show before mine starts here, obviously, with Mark and the boys, and then moving forward. So definitely, like I said, everybody check them out when they can. And again, follow them on Twitter at Lazy Booking PC. But let's get back to business at hand. WWE TLC 2016 edition. The first match we'll start off with is a match that I'm somewhat looking forward to. I don't know about Mark, but I'm somewhat looking forward to. Kalisto versus Baron Corbin in a chairs match. One-on-one. I'm going to go first for predictions. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin, even though, yes, he got the upper hand. He got his tag to disqualify by knocking Kalisto with the chair. I'll do it to you. But I have Baron Corbin getting the win here over Kalisto, hopefully squashing that feud so Corbin can do and go on to bigger and better things. Who do you have in this match and why?
Oh, easy. Baron Corbin all the way. I mean, come on. Look at him. Look at the two. Kalisto is what, 5'6", 5'8", 5'10", something like that. Baron Corbin looks like he's 7'5", like 7'5" compared to Kalisto. Just step on him and you're already winning. They're gonna end the feud right after this. Baron Corbin deserves in the near future, after they build his character a little bit better, because I don't know what the hell he is. I don't know if he's a heel or is he a good guy. I don't know what the hell he is. He's just right in the middle. So once they build his character, he's easily could be a champion someday, somehow, some way. Kalisto, just take him to the cruiserweight division. We already discussed this. Just take him to the cruiserweight division. He could do some damage there. It's just that is more of his safe haven than SmackDown, where he has to compete for the Intercontinental Championship or any other belt, or even tag team. It's just cruiserweight is his best hope for now.
And as I see here on our chat, which is a good thing I actually had it open tonight, first Palmer was on there because he wanted to jump in the episode. Now, our buddy over at Talking WJJ himself is in the chat room. Let's see some of his yes. You can do the yes chants if you want there, Mark. But anyways, his first comments was Sheamus and Cesaro with exclamation points, so he must be happy about that. Then he wrote lit OMG Steve, like because I said that or something. Because I'm not that type of person. I'm a real, whatever. Anyways, and then then his next comment being, no, there it is. Mark is changing Steve. So I don't know about changing me. I mean, I am trying to develop a vast personality and not being my stoic, usual introverted self. This podcast has helped in my friendships with Jay, Stephen A, Mark Rambo, Michael, and others have formed it. Also, I don't know if you've ever met or had. I don't know if you've been on this show when I had Angry Cooter on.
The guy's wild.
Yeah, Angry Cooter. So him and working with his show, formerly Main Event Marks. So I've taken things, in a way of personality, trying to grow myself there from people, but changing me, I don't know about that. But hey, if anything, it's for better, right? Not for negative. So it's all good. Next matchup, we'll predict the tag team titles. Might as well just get right into it for the tag team championships. Heath Slater and Rhino versus Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Mark, I'll let you go first this time. Who do you think is going to be winning, and any shenanigans you see going on during the match in itself?
Okay. I'm keeping it. I'm gonna keep it completely honest with you guys. Heath Slater and Rhino's reign is gonna come to an end. I mean, this was just something to start off SmackDown. All the hype was going to Heath Slater because he has kids, and now that they got the run and everything, I see Rhino becoming a little bit of a backstage guy. Heath Slater may get a little run or whatever, but I think Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton are going to be the tag team champions. It's not going to be for long, but they're going to be the tag team champions. Luke Harper is more than likely going to interfere if necessary. Probably knock the hell out of Heath Slater, but hey, who knows? Maybe Heath Slater, reverse it or do something crazy. Maybe they even retain it, but I just do not see it happening with Randy Orton, and Bray Wyatt being such a creep at Reign. It's, I got Bray winning this one. Bray and Randy.
Yeah, and I don't. I have the tag team titles staying on. Heath Slater. I know. I got a big gasp out of Mark when I said that on Talking WJ. He seemed a little surprised here and that, which is fine. Hey, it's just I just feel that, again, as I was talking about earlier, and of this tag team with Wyatt and Orton, and kind of thinking maybe this is where Orton turns, or maybe Harper, more so Randy Orton turning on Bray and the family in a way, and continuing that feud moving forward, or however that would go down. I just see Heath Slater and Rhino, holding on for at least one more month, holding out for a little bit longer. For a viable regular tag team to take it away from them, because, like I said, for Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, as good as they are individually as a tag team, I see them more. I see them now together more to the family, out of the storyline of the family, as I said earlier. So then of an actual tag team. So I'm gonna go with Heath Slater and Rhino to retain the SmackDown Live tag team champions and move championships and move on. Excuse me. Let's see here. Which match do we want to do next? Let's do the Intercontinental Championships, since we're doing championships. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler in a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go with the Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship over Dolph Ziggler. I don't really see a purpose or reason to have Dolph winning the championship. I mean, if you were going to have him actually have somewhat of a reign with the IC strap, you would have had that continue when he did win it the first time. Then having the Miz win it just to then be able to be in that match at Survivor Series against Sami Zayn. You know, so in that kind of thinking, I'm going to go with The Miz to retain the title. Which way do you go, The Miz or Dolph Ziggler in the ladder match for the IC title?
All it's easy. The Spirit Squad and Maurice, they're gonna win. You know, already know how things are. Discussed how I felt about it. We discussed how we felt about it. It's gonna be. I hope it's honestly. I hope it's Dolph Ziggler because I'm just sick and tired of seeing Maurice win the matches for the Miz. I mean, jeez, just could I have one match where Maurice is banned ringside, Spirit Squad is banned ringside, and let's just have a match where really best man wins, not the best woman or best tag team or best trio, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That just come on. That is so irritating. I mean, jeez, it's annoying. But I have Dolph Ziggler winning this one. It's gonna be a long match, but Dolph's gonna come. He's gonna mess things up. He's gonna win.
All right. Next match we'll do Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a no disqualification. I know the Q match. I guess I'll go first. I'll go with Carmella over Nikki Bella. As I said today, maybe I see Nikki Bella winning the overall feud, but here on Sunday, I have Carmella getting the win there, deserving especially everything that happened on SmackDown Live in the reverse booking. That most happened from Gome shows to pay-per-views. So from that and that kind of logic and that kind of thing, I'm gonna go with Carmella over Nikki Bella in the no DQ match. Who do you have in that match and why?
Well, I have Carmella in it too. Carmella, she's gonna do something crazy like she always does. I have a feeling. I didn't say this before. I have a feeling it's a no DQ match, right, or something like that.
Yes.
I have a feeling, somebody's gonna get speared through like the little barricade thing. I just have a feeling. I have a feeling Carmella is gonna get speared through it, or Nikki Bella's gonna end up going through a barricade because it was a spear like that was reversed of some sort. I just have a feeling something like that's gonna happen, and that's technically what's gonna end the match. I have a feeling to Nikki Bella. And Carmella's going to finish it off with our finisher. I have a feeling Carmella's going to win it, but it's off of a mistake on behalf of Nikki Bella. So I got Carmella winning this one, but at the same time, it's going to be interesting on how it works, how it goes on. So Carmella, I think Carmella's going to win this one by landslide.
Okay. The next match we'll do is stay on the women's side. SmackDown Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch champion versus Alexa Bliss challenger in the tables match. Mark, I'll let you go first here. Who do you think is going to be coming out the winner, leaving TLC SmackDown Women's Champion?
Going with the last kicker. Now we do things. Becky Lynch is going to go over there. This is what's going to happen. All right, Steve. Becky Lynch is going to go into the ring. You're gonna mess things up. She's gonna hurt Alexa Bliss. She's probably gonna fall through a table. Well, actually, no. If she fell through a table, she would have lost. So let me rewind that. She's gonna go into the ring. She's gonna hurt Alexa Bliss. They're gonna be fighting. Oh, put her in submission. Oh, everybody's gonna get hurt. Crowd's gonna get into it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so this is really happening. Boom, just like that. Alexa Bliss is going to fall onto the table. The table's going to be outside of the ring. Let me make sure everybody knows this. It's going to be outside of the ring. It's not going to be inside because they don't want it to be basic. Shane McMahon and Daniel do not want this shit to be basic.
Right.
So it's going to be outside. Alexa Bliss is going to fall outside. She's going to retain it. Then the next opponent that Becky could possibly have probably be Nikki Bella. So I'm going with the little last kicker. I'm going with Becky Lynch. She's going to take that dub. She's going to retain the championship. And from there, SmackDown Live continues on the road to victory.
I want to be cheering for Alexa Bliss, and I really hope that she does
Oh,
win. I really want her to win, but I'm not gonna stray away from what my pick was earlier today because Mark knows what it was. But I'm gonna go with the last kicker, Becky Lynch, just to retain her title. But hopefully, maybe WWE has that snap of finger epiphany that maybe Alexa Bliss deserves to have this title. I think she's earned it. To be quite honest, in series. I think she's earned it. I think it would be nice to have her have a title, if even for a short run, to then get it back to Becky and whatever heading into not SummerSlam, WrestleMania. SummerSlam already happened, but heading into WrestleMania, they want to do that. It's fine. Just like on Raw side, I actually would like to see Jericho get kind of pat on the back, kind of thank you for how he's done in his role, and him coming back as long as he have, getting over with the list and all this other stuff, giving him something, winning the title. If not winning the title before WrestleMania, what I see actually happening, Mark, is Chris Jericho winning Raw's Money in the Bank. So we'll have that again, right? In the past, Raw and SmackDown Live having their separate Money in the Bank matches. So I'm really looking forward to that already, because I really enjoyed Money in the Bank. For me, it's become the number 4 of the big 4, taking over Survivor Series. Yeah, and I've said it. Yeah, I've said it in the past on Jay Show and here. That and now with the brand extension and having the Raw and SmackDown one individual, Money in the Banks and everything, but just how it was in the past, I really, really enjoy Money in the Bank, and I really, really think, in my opinion, that it's taken over Survivor Series for now. Maybe Survivor Series slowly getting its act together, starting this year, that it can get back into my good graces personally. But overall, Money in the Bank being bigger than that, and even Clash of Champions, formerly Night of Champions, was really growing on me a lot too. I like pay-per-views like that, even though it's a little gimmick thing, but I like those. I enjoy those. I like, obviously everybody loves the Royal Rumble. I like stuff like that. Elimination Chamber's coming back. Yeah, hopefully it'll be stuck there in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. I like those type of matches with multi-men and whatever. Maybe you'll have, what? Why not? We've had a last woman standing. We've had Hell in a Cell for women. We're gonna have an ODQ and a tables match for women. How about an Elimination Chamber match for the women for the Raw and SmackDown Live Women's Championship? Woo! That'd be great.
Wow. Now, if they had something like that, this is the thing. The Elimination Chamber you're going to bleed in the Elimination Chamber. I have not seen blood in the Elimination Chamber forever. I mean, I think I was... Damn, how old was I the last time I saw blood? It's been a long time since I've seen blood in the Elimination Chamber. I think the last time I saw it, Batista actually had hair. I don't know. I can't think of it, the year. But it's been a long time since I've seen a good Elimination Chamber match. Now, to put it in the women's roster division, there are going to be some people like, oh, no, don't do it. They can't handle that. It's extreme. But I'm curious. I want to see how they're going to do it.
So they did it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious. I'm for it. I want to see how it's going to be. If they're really down to put women inside that chamber with, what is it, like 15 tons of steel just surrounding you, I mean, I already know Charlotte's going to do some heavy work. I mean, she's going to do something. You put Nia Jackson there and everybody's going to die. I mean, I'm curious. I'm definitely down for it. If they do something like that, you got my money. You've got my money. I'm going to watch that.
No, same here. For sure. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean,
that'd be really good.
But anyways, back to my point, back to actually my prediction. I am going with Becky Lynch to retain the Women's Championship for SmackDown Live and move forward from there. But as we were, hey, it is Wrestling Ramble, ramble about anything. But back on track here, let's head to the main event. Obviously, will be the main event. If it's not, well, then I don't know what's going on. But the WWE World Title match, TLC match, Dean Ambrose, Lunatic Fringe, my dude, the dude, against the champion AJ Styles. And I guess I'll go first, as much as I will be rooting for, wanting other stuff for Dean Ambrose to win, kind of like I was just talking about Alexa Bliss. Logically, and in my prediction, I just can't go that way. I have to be sensible about it and go the way of what it probably will be going. AJ Styles to retain, be my official prediction. I don't I see Ellsworth getting involved? I kind of hope not. I want these two to have a 5-star match, be the freaking match of the night as they deserve. I mean, they're the main event for the WWE World Title. It should be each and every month. The Universal Title and the WWE World Title matches should be match of the nights because they are for their number one titles for their brands. Now, whether they are or not, it depends on individuals' opinions and in general how the match flows and goes. But I think this one here at TLC, I think actually can deliver in that way and actually can be for sure match of the night for me. So I don't want James Ellsworth involved. I don't want James Ellsworth there at all. If he wants, he can do something a goofy ass skit on SmackDown Live the week after. I don't care, but not at TLC. AJ knocked his ass out. Let him be out for a while, and he can enjoy the pay-per-view at home, making that money because he is now part of the WWE roster.
Yep.
So good for him. And he does get a title opportunity. Now, the more and more we talked about it at the end of the episode today on Talking WWE with Jay, whether it was off air or on air, the more it makes me wonder, okay, this opportunity for a title. Now, did it actually have to mean that it had to be in a sanctioned match? Is it like a Money in the Bank briefcase where he can just cash it in at any time? Like, he didn't really specify it had to be on a pay-per-view. It just is a match whenever you want to use it. Like the Money in the Bank contract. He won a contract, right? So technically he won a contract of a title match, which can be used, or at least to my thinking, that could be used at any time. You know where I'm getting at? So I'm worried that maybe, like I said, the more and more we talked about that on that show, Talking WWE with Jay, that maybe the stuff that we were giggling and laughing about of Ellsworth, of the show ending with Ellsworth with the title over his head, might not be as far fetched as we think. Now, if it happens, I'll be shocked. I'll be legitimately shocked because I want this match. I want this match Ellsworth free. I want this match just for AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose show this thing and have a 5-star match. Someone getting the win. Even if it's not Ambrose, even if it's supposed to be AJ Styles, it's fine, okay? But let them two do the work because they are great athletes. They are the best for SmackDown Live, bar none, obviously, right now in the main event circuit. So don't have Ellsworth doing some goofy-ass spots just because they want to. Have them stay away, stay home, have fun, have popcorn and enjoy the show. So enjoy the match from home. But like I said, the more and more we talked about that then, the more now, as we're talking about it here on my show here, maybe, just maybe that could become fruition, or maybe just maybe that might be a fruition and actual finish to a pay-per-view, whether a Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, if that's for SmackDown Live, in between the Rumble Mania, that Ellsworth gets involved, and that's when Ellsworth gets the title. Now, this one could be the best opportunity. You have a ladder match, grueling, those two, tearing the house down, 5 stars, one of them barely beating the other to the top or getting the win and however and whatever, and just exhausted. And you have Ellsworth running up down the ramp, like carrying a briefcase, almost like, I was talking about Money in the Bank, that, and he cashes it in and he wins the championship at TLC. So if that was to happen, I see that being the scenario of it actually playing out. I hope it doesn't. I don't think it will, but we'll see. But like I said, my prediction, AJ Styles, who do you have in this match, and do you see Ellsworth get involved at all?
Oh, absolutely. Ellsworth is going to win it. I mean, come on. Ellsworth is going to come out. He is going to kick the hell out of AJ Styles. He's going to he's going to let Dean Ambrose win. Then he's going to kick the hell out of Dean Ambrose and then get the belt. It's like, nah, I'm just messing with you. I think Dean Ambrose is going to win this one because of the James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth is more than likely going to come out. If he does, it's going to be directed to AJ and AJ only. Dean Ambrose is probably going to allow it happen, just sit there like, oh, it's none of my concern. He's going to come back, give AJ the 30 deeds. He's going 1, 2, 3. We have a new champion. From there, much needed. From there, then it's just a whole new storyline, I guess. AJ is going to come back. He's not going to be the face that runs the place anymore. But at the same time, this is the thing. I see Dean winning because of James, but at the same time, I see AJ winning because of the interference. I mean, it's so it's so hard though because AJ is the face that runs the place, but then you have Dean who has the what do they call it? James Ellsworth. Call him like a turtle or something like that.
Yeah, like a turtle or whatever. Yeah.
A turtle with no show, which he really does. He looks like Franklin the turtle.
Yeah, Summer Rae said that on her Facebook and on Twitter. Franklin the turtle.
Really?
Yeah.
He looks like a turtle off like Kung Fu Panda if you ever saw it. Yeah, it's so hard, but I'm gonna go with Dean Ambrose winning this one. Then they're gonna have a round. Then they're gonna have a round 2, and then from there, anything goes.
There you go. Hey, hopefully that happens. Hopefully, would love to see Ambrose again as WWE World Champion. Maybe the end game is for Ambrose to go over to Raw somehow in a trade or however that would happen and have the Shield reunion there. I mean, especially if you have Reigns winning at Roadblock, end of the line, winning the Universal title, winning the Universal title over Kevin Owens, and him being dual champion, Seth Rollins. Maybe Seth Rollins, if they have the Shield come back, Seth Rollins and Reigns, or Rollins and Ambrose tag team division, being the tag team champions at some point. That'd be cool. That'd be interesting if we talk about the Wyatt family to come out of nowhere to win the tag team titles from on the SmackDown Live side. Maybe here, if they fast track this, they could have the Shield being the ones to take the titles off a New Day. So that certainly would be interesting if that was the case. But then again, for that to happen, New Day would have to hold the title for a while now. So gonna have to deal with that. So, but any other thoughts here for TLC or WWE in general before we leave for the night?
Get your Ellsworth t-shirts, people. Get your Ellsworth t-shirts. Show some love. He's your next WWE champion. Put some respect on his name. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Anyways, you can follow him at Looney Tunes 163. You can follow me at WWE_podcast. We'll be here again next week with our review of TLC. Not too much else going on. Like I said, check out Lazy Booking Podcast. I think I did just hear them giving our show a shout out on their show because they're still live as I speak. And again, we'll be back here next week to review. Next week, I got again also my NFL podcast, Scream Queens review, and all this stuff as well. So thanks for Mark being here tonight. Next week, hopefully, Michael will be no longer sick and able to make it, and the other part of our team here. Steve's Wrestling Ramble. So for everybody that watched live and archived, greatly appreciated. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all three at the same time if you want. And as always, take care.